Hey everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to talk about a secret formula that I figured out how to. Well, I haven't won the prop firm challenge, but this is kind of really working for me by doing it on the demo account. So I'm kind of giving you guys the statistics that I think would help win a prop firm challenge. Now, once you do these statistics and use it and you win a prop firm challenge, you don't necessarily have to keep doing these statistics, but you can if you want. But this is only to win the challenge. And that's basically off a statistic that I've uncovered myself. And that is to do the prop firm challenge, you have a certain amount you have to do. You have to do it 4 times a day. So there's 4 times in the day that you have to do your trades. You have to get 13 pips per trade 4 times a day. And your lot size will have to be, it's based off of what your amount is that the prop firm's giving you. If you're doing a 200,000 account, then it's going to be, the lot size needs to be at least 80. If you're doing 100,000, you need at least to do 40, and the other ones, do your math accordingly. But what you basically want to do is, if you saw the last video that I posted, I talked about a 3 candle strike move, and that's kind of what you got to follow. I'm going to show you guys the formula at what you got to do every hour. Basically, we'll go from there. So what you got to do, and you got to do risk management here, because if you follow this strategy, you want to do more trades. You gotta be able to control yourself. And once you get those 13 pips, you need to stop. And your next trade needs to be maybe in a couple hours. You don't want to do this. You don't want to have long trades for this strategy. You want to get in and out. So basically, what I base this strategy is the 4 times that you do this in the day. I make my trade on the hour candles. So basically right before the hour candle changes on the chart, that's when I do my trade. So I'm going to pull up the charts and I'll show you exactly how to look for it, and so you guys can win the prop firm challenge a lot easier. But first, let me show you kind of the statistics of me following. Well, I didn't really yesterday. I kind of did a little bit of over trading yesterday on a demo account, but I still came ahead. I went down a lot, and then I came back and I bounced back. But don't do this. Don't over trade. This is just because it was a demo account. You still need to stick to doing it just 4 times a day, and your average needs to be at 13 pips per trade per day, and you need to do that 5 times in order to win the challenge. So let me load up the charts, and I'll show you a little bit of my statistics. Okay, so here's my results. Let's just look yesterday. These are kind of like my results from yesterday. Now, the last 2 you see here is actually today. So this one right here, the 211, that was the last trade I took last night. This is all based off a different time zone, but as far as today goes, this one right here, the 1200 there and the 1600 there, those are for today. So if I'm following my own personal strategy here of getting 13 pips, I would only need to trade 2 more times today. But yesterday, other than let's just erase those 2, because this is yesterday. You know, while I was at work, I was doing some demo, and I practiced it, and then I just got a little carried away, a little over trading. It started, and then I started to go down, and then I did a little bit of revenge trading, and I upped my lot size, and I basically bounced back, and I still applied this strategy, and it worked pretty good. Even though I was down 13,000, I then made almost 3,500, almost 4,000, 6,000, almost 5,000, 5,000, 3,000, and then, yeah. So I did good yesterday, even though, now if this was a prop firm, I would have probably lost due to the drop down. But if I based it off of all of this right here, I would have won probably, because if you're doing a 200,000, you're required to make 20,000. So this is all one day except for these last two right here, which is today. So technically today I only need to do this 2 more times. So anyway, those are kind of my statistics, and I kind of overtraded a bit yesterday, but we need to follow the same formula here, and that formula is getting 13 pips only 4 times a day. So I'm going to kind of go over the strategy on how to do that. Now what I do is I focus on I talked about this a little bit on my last video. What I do is I look at the candles, and what messed me up yesterday was, let me remove that there. What messed me up yesterday was I saw there was the candles, and it was this one right here. I think it was this one. I started looking at the price, and it went up to like I think I was looking at it when it was at 150 or something like that, like right about here. And I was like, this thing isn't going to go past it's not going to go to 151. It's going to bounce down. So what I was thinking right here is that it was going to bounce down, and it didn't bounce down, and it went up. So that's how I made that minus big number. But anyway, what you want to do this is you want to pick 4 times in the day. 4 times in the day, and you want to look at your candles. You want to look at the momentum of the candles. It works good if you have volume, and I also have RSI and the MACD loaded here. But overall, you really just need to observe the candles and the wicks, and you'll make your decision on the hour. What I do is I enter the trade 1 minute before the hour candle starts, and that only means it has to meet certain criteria with the candles. So what we could tell right here, if we came in right here, what can we tell? This looks like a bounce zone to me, because the same thing could have happened yesterday. We see that the wicks are touching here, and it looks like it. So if you look at this wick right here and this wick is shorter than this wick. So from what I could tell, if it stays like this, just by observing these 3 candles, if this wick gets past this wick, it's going to continue to go down. But at the end of the hour, if this wick continues to be shorter than this wick, then that tells me that it's going to start bouncing and go up. And that's kind of how I make my decision. I look at the first 2 candles. And I look at the wicks. If the second wick is smaller than the first wick, it tells me that there's going to be a bounce. If the second wick is longer than the first wick, then it tells me that the momentum is still going to go in that direction. That is how I make my choices. I also look at my RSI and my MACD, and I look at the volume, and I look to see if everything's matching. So if everything is matching, I'll make my trade only to get that 13 pips. So I will start my trade at I'll start my trade 1 minute before the hour candle. Right now, if it was at the end of the hour, based off of what I see here, the second wick is shorter than the first wick, so what I'm seeing is a bounce. And I could probably go to the 15-minute here and see that it's trying to, it's trying to bounce. It's trying to bounce back. So I could probably get my quote of 13 pips with this move, as long as this wick stays shorter than the first wick. So that's kind of how I do. And once I get my 13 pips, I am out. I'm out, and you only do this 4 times a day. So this is my formula, my secret strategy to doing Forex trading, especially to win the prop firm challenges. So to apply this strategy, now remember, I'm not responsible for any profit or loss. This is just my personal strategy. It has increased my win rate a lot, and it's when I do win the prop firm challenge, this is also just going to be the strategy that I use just to trade Forex with. It'll also work to trade, with crypto and the stock market as well. But mainly I'm using this to show you, to win prop firm challenges. So anyway, here's the setup just one more time. You need to focus on 4 times in the day. You need to have good risk management. You need to focus on getting 13 pips 4 times a day, and your lot size is based off of how big your account is. The 200,000 is 80. Your 200,000 is 80. Your 100,000 is 40, and then just do the math on the other two. But anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys with the videos.